Hello guys, welcome to Ray Sports News and Debates. Okay, in today's video, we're going to have a two-parter. Okay, we're going to have our three winners and losers from this past week, as well as our Week 10 NFL predictions. And without further ado, guys, let's get into today's video. Starting off with our number 3 winner. I think it's got to be the Dallas Cowboys. I have been very, very hard on Dak Prescott. I will be the first one to admit it. I've had an 8-year sample size with him in Dallas, and I've been one of his more harsher critics when it comes to playing really good teams and him not performing well. Okay, that was not the case Sunday. Dak played phenomenally. I can't take anything away from him. 377 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. My only critique, and I made a Facebook post about this, and I feel like people misunderstood what I was saying when I had said this. Okay, the sack that he took with 30 seconds left, he can't take that sack. I'm sorry. He had 3 to 4 seconds to get rid of the ball. And I'm not saying I'm an NFL pro. I could have handled the situation any better. I'm a fan. There's a reason he's in the NFL, and I'm right here. Okay, but what I'm saying is I'm paying you. So I'm not paying him. The Cowboys are paying Dak Prescott $40 million a year to win games. Not to almost win games, to win games. Okay? You have to overcome certain circumstances to win games. Okay? Joe Burrow in that situation gets the ball off. Josh Allen in that situation gets the ball off. Patrick Mahomes in that situation gets the ball off. Okay? Dak's been in the league longer than any of these other guys have been. Okay? He has to know in that situation to get rid of the ball. Okay? But that's my only critique. Outside of that, played phenomenally. Used his legs like I've always wanted him to do, because he's a quick guy, and they're not planning for him to use his legs. Now, I'm not saying run the ball 20 times a game or something. But hey, if it's there, go. Get 7-8 yards. Slide. Set up a 2nd and 3, a 2nd and 2. Get Pollard involved in the run game. That's all I'm saying. You use your legs when you have to. That's what made Russell Wilson so great early on in his career, was everyone knew he could run, but he only ran when he had to. Okay? Not because he wanted to, because he had to. Okay? And I think Prescott is in that same situation right now. But nonetheless, I mean, they play phenomenally. You could say it was on that, the penalties they had late. That's on Dak and that's on McCarthy. They have to be better time management wise. But I mean, like I said, Dak, phenomenal game. If the Cowboys get this Prescott the rest of the season versus good teams, and they still have to play Miami, they still have to play Buffalo, they still have to play Philadelphia again, and they still have to play the Chiefs. Okay? If I get that Dak Prescott in those 4 games, Cowboys are going to go 4-0. Okay? Because I know the defense is going to adjust. I know Dan Quinn's going to have a good game plan, and I know they're going to get better. So I think this is a very, very good sign for Cowboys fans. Okay? My number 3 loser, I'm going to have to say the Miami Dolphins. You're 6-0 against bad teams. You're averaging 39 points a game. You're 0-3 against good teams. You're averaging 17 points a game. This was the game. If you were going to shut up the haters about, can they beat a good team? Okay, it was this Chiefs team. Okay, and, if you would have beat them, I think everyone would have turned the corner and be like, hey, maybe Miami is legit this year. But you lost again to a good team. The three games that the Dolphins have had versus good teams, for the most part, they have not been close. It was 21-0 at halftime of the Chiefs game. And Tyreek's got to be better. He can't fumble the ball in that situation. That was ultimately the deciding factor, was that fumble return for a touchdown. My number 2 winner, I'm not going to lie, it has to be C.J. Stroud and the Texans. 470 yards, NFL rookie record, 5 touchdowns. And not only that, he's now tied Tom Brady for the best touchdown to interception rate in NFL history with 14 touchdowns to 1 interception. Keep that in mind. 1 interception through 9 weeks in your rookie season as an NFL starter. That is absolutely crazy. Now, before the season started, I said the Texans in a year or two could be a potential playoff team. They might have just gone into the future because I think this could be a playoff team. I really believe they could be a playoff team. I think they're going to be that 7th seed. I think Pittsburgh will eventually move up to the 6th seed based on the record over the next 8 or 9 games. But I think the Texans can make the postseason. No, I'm not going to pick them to win the division. I don't think they're that good yet. Although they did handily defeat the Jacksonville Jaguars the first time they played them. But, no, I mean, this kid is special. And I knew he was going to be special over Bryce Young. I don't know what Carolina saw in Bryce Young. Maybe when he gets some options, he'll be better. But CJ's played phenomenally. 8 weeks in, they're 4-4. I think they're way above expectations this year. I think they're only a game or two out of that last wild card spot. And if they can kind of get on a hot streak, I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs or anything like that. I'm a realist here. But could they make a playoff push? Absolutely they can. My number 2 loser, I'm going on the opposite end. I'm going to say it's Bryce Young. Him and Stroud have had this, I think Bryce Young has had less starts, but I mean, it's not good. He's got 2 good running backs. He's got Adam Thielen, and yes, he has, they do need wide receiver help, but I mean, 2 pick sixes in a game. I mean, you're giving a team 14 points at that point, man. And when it's hard for your team to score offensively as is, eek, man. My number 1 winner, though, it has to be the Baltimore Ravens. They've shut down 2 top 10 offenses in the Lions and the Seahawks, outscored them 75-9 in those 2 games, respectively. 38-6, 37-3. And if this defense continues to get better with these schemes and these looks that the DC is showing, and Lamar can continue to, get back to his old mojo, woo, Baltimore Ravens might make it to the Super Bowl, man. I know it's a little bit of a take, but I think it's going to be them and the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. And if I was going to go another winner, I think it's the Bengals and the Ravens tied for that 1 spot because both look phenomenal right now. Joe Burrow looks 100%. Lamar looks 100%. Both offenses look phenomenally. Okay, I do think the Bengals need to evolve the run game a little bit more. I think that's the deciding factor right now between them and the Ravens, is the Ravens have a clear-cut better run game than the Bengals do. But quarterback-wise, I trust Joe Burrow more than I do Lamar. But my number 1 loser, and I had kind of called this before the season started, it's the Buffalo Bills. I'm all for injuries, and I get it plays a big part in your team's record. But this defense, I mean, it's not elite anymore. At least 8 games in, the Cowboys lost Trevon Diggs, okay? And that took a step back. But the defense still looks solid. Okay, now it doesn't look like the best like it could be. But, it's hard for me to believe when, Buffalo gets out of, they're so afraid to run the ball consistently. Okay? The run game is non-existent. They get down 7 points, like, oh, we got to pass. I'm like, no, involve your running game. What's the point of bringing Fournette on this team when you're not giving the ball to James Cook enough as is, and then you're going to split his carries with Fournette? How's that going to work? I think it's McDermott's last year in Buffalo personally as well. But yeah, those are going to be my three, I guess, four winners and three losers this week. But with that being said, we're going to go into our second part of the video, which is going to be our Week 10 NFL predictions. Okay, I am just looking at the schedule for the first time, so we're doing this on the fly. Okay, Thursday night game. Really entertaining game right here, guys. We got the Carolina Panthers at the Chicago Bears. I think Fields is coming back for this game. And I do trust Justin Fields in this offense a lot more than I trust Bryce Young right now. So we're going to go the Chicago Bears for the Thursday night game. Sunday game, we got the Colts at New England. The Patriots are terrible right now. The offense is in luck or whatever. Now, could I see New England winning this game? Absolutely I can. But I'm going with my heart here, and I'm going to trust the Colts to win this game. Garney Minshew, maybe he gets that little magic back, but I trust the Colts to win this game. Second game, and what I think a lot of people are overlooking, but I think could be game of the week. You got the Houston Texans at the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, both of these teams were on my winner side in the first part of the video, as you saw. I'm going to trust Cincinnati, though. I think the offense looks completely legit. Joe Burrow's 100% healthy. Joe Mixon looks healthy. And I think they just, as a team overall, look a lot better. The Texans can play great, and then they can play terrible. So until I can get that consistency from the Texans, I have to trust what I've seen from the Cincinnati Bengals. They've started out slow, just like they do every year, and then they get into a groove. And I think Cincinnati's in that groove now, and I'm picking Cincinnati to win this game. Next game, another one I'm thinking is going to be good. We got the Saints at Minnesota. Now, the Saints a couple weeks ago, offense, boom, looked great. Defense, boom, looked great. But this one is a toss-up with them and the Vikings. Justin Jefferson won't be back until next week, I believe. But I'm gonna trust my heart and my gut here. I like Dobbs. Feel good story. Don't get me wrong. Man, this is tough. I'm going to go Saints. I'm committing to the Saints. I can't go back. I just think the defense is going to be a lot for Dobbs to handle. Without Justin Jefferson, I just think it's going to be too much. Kelly Osborne is in concussion protocol as well. So you're really like slim pickings in wide receivers. Next game, we got Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Pittsburgh here. Jordan Love is terrible. I'm sorry, Green Bay. I'm sorry you wasted a first-round pick on him. He's not the guy. Now, I think Jordan Love could be a decent backup in the league, but he's not a starter. I'm sorry. I think Cooper Rush from the Cowboys could do a lot better with the Green Bay Packers right now than him. But I'm going to go Pittsburgh. The one thing I'll say about Pittsburgh, they've been outgained every game this year, but I don't know how Mike Tomlin does this. He just finds a way to win. He's never had a losing season in the NFL before, in the league before. And this team finds a way to win. And I can't tell you how they do it every single week when they're getting outgained. But they find a way. It's crazy. Every single game that they've won, I sit there, I'm looking at the scoreboard, I'm like, how did that happen? How did they win this game? But I mean, that's a credit to Mike Tomlin. He finds a way to win, and as an NFL coach, you have to do that. Next game, we got Tennessee at Tampa Bay. Again, this one could go either way. The Titans have named Will Levis the starter for the remainder of the year, which is the right decision. Okay, I know Ryan Tannehill could come back this week or come back next week, but I think if you're the Titans, you got to go with the hot hand. Will Levis has looked good in his first 2 starts in the NFL, so you got to ride the hot hand right now. Tampa Bay, one of my bad takes this year was I had Baker in the MVP race about 4 weeks into the season, and 4 weeks have passed, and now he's not even close to being in the conversation. Again, that could go either way. I'm going to trust the Titans to cover here. I just think Will Levis is going to be a little bit better than Baker. But yeah, we're going to go Titans there. San Francisco at the Jags. I think San Francisco bounces back. Normally, I probably would have picked Jacksonville to win this game, but against good defenses, Trevor Lawrence has looked kind of suspect this year. I'm not saying he's been exposed, but I'm saying the 2 losses, he's been crushed by the defense. And he's going up against a really, really good defensive coordinator. As much crap as he gets right now, San Francisco is still an elite offense. And they're coming off of the bye week. I think everyone's going to be a little bit more healthy. But yeah, I'm going to go San Francisco here. I just trust them a little bit more defensively. Cleveland at Baltimore. Man, I'm going to go Baltimore here. I like Cleveland's defense. I like Baltimore's defense. I think it's going to come down to quarterback play, and I just have more faith in Lamar Jackson right now than I do Deshaun Watson. But yeah, we're going to go Baltimore there. Falcons at the Cardinals. I'm going to go Falcons here. Not much to say. Arizona's terrible. I mean, unless Kyler plays, I maybe change it. But at this point, the Cardinals, you're 1-8. What's the point of bringing Kyler back when you're 1-8? You're not going to make the playoffs. Just keep him healthy. Get him ready for the next season. You're going to start in the last 3 or 4 weeks just to kind of get him some reps this year. All in favor. But what are you throwing him back out there for? Your team's 1-8. He doesn't have anybody to throw to. I just rest him personally. But we're going to go Falcons there. Detroit at the Chargers. I really want the Chargers to be a successful team. I really do. But that being said, I gotta trust Detroit. The Chargers defense is terrible, and I think Jared Goff and that offense is gonna just go absolute ape shit on the Chargers. So we're gonna go Detroit there. Giants at Dallas. Go Dallas here. I think the defense is gonna be too much. I don't think Daniel Jones is playing. I think it's gonna be the backup. Either way, if they're starting him or not starting him, I pick the Cowboys here. Cowboys career clip, better team. Washington at Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle here. I think Seattle bounces back from that miserable offensive performance against the Ravens. But yeah, we're going to go Seattle there. Jets at the Raiders Sunday night. The Raiders looked invigorated with their new coach, new offensive coordinator. Team looks better. Defense looks phenomenal. Offense looked tremendously better than it ever did with Josh McDaniels. But they're going up against an elite defense in the Jets. Now, the Jets they got their asses kicked last week. That would be the understatement. A game that could go either way. I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say the Raiders find a way to win. I just, oh, no, I'm changing. We're going to go Jets. I'm going to regret that. I know I'm going to regret that, but I'm going to stick with the Jets. I think the Jets are going to bounce back this week offensively, and I think it's just going to be too much defense for that rookie quarterback to handle for the Raiders. Monday night, easy game. Well, at this point, I don't know if it's easy anymore. You got the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go Buffalo here. I could realistically see the Broncos winning this game based on how terrible the Bills have been lately. But I think the Bills will bounce back. I think they will handily crush the Broncos here. Broncos have one of the worst defenses in the league. And I think it'll be a good, bounce back game for the Bills. So I'm going to choose the Bills here. One more time going over our picks. Okay, we're going Chicago over Carolina. We're going Indianapolis over the Patriots. We're going Cincinnati over Houston. We're going Saints over Minnesota. Pittsburgh over Green Bay. Tennessee over Tampa Bay. San Francisco over Jacksonville. Baltimore over Cleveland. Atlanta over the Cardinals. Detroit over the Chargers. Cowboys over the Giants. Seattle over Washington. The Jets over the Raiders. And the Bills over the Broncos. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're about 72 subscribers away from 200, which would be a big milestone for the channel. Tag your friends, comment below your winners, your losers of this week, your predictions in regards to games. Do you think we got any wrong? Feel free to list them in the comments, guys. Until next time, you guys have a good one.